Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Wrestling Talks and Thoughts. I am your host, Saheem, the G Unit. Not Tree. Last time you heard that.
Word. Your co-host, J Mac Main.
J Mac Mizzle, what's going down in Chinatown? Man, we got a lot to talk about. Some things to talk about. So you want to get into news and rumors, or you want to do Raw and you want to do NXT and SmackDown first?
We can just knock out NXT and SmackDown real quick.
All right, NXT and SmackDown. So let's talk about NXT New Year's Evil review. Again, NXT does a great job in putting on an excellent show. I thought it was really good. Karrion Kross versus Damian Priest. We had Rhea Ripley versus what is her name again? Raquel Gonzalez. We also had Finn Balor versus Kyle O'Reilly. Timothy Thatcher versus Tommaso Ciampa was canceled due to Timothy Thatcher being injured, but they said they will have that match. They will book the match as soon as Timothy Thatcher heals. The match will happen. Well, I forgot the name of the match. What was it called?
A mosh pit match.
A mosh pit match, right? I was excited for that.
Good call.
Yeah, I was excited for that match. I was very excited for that match. Hopefully, hoping to see it. We have a visitor with us. Dewan Davis, once again, NXT, the best brand on all shows. Absolutely. Yeah. Dewan, we definitely agree with you. That was a excellent show. I enjoyed it. Kyle, so let's start with Damian Priest versus Karrion Kross. So it was a good match. It was a good match until Karrion Kross just started wiping the floor with Damian Priest toward the end. It was like, okay, this is over. Like, this is over. Like, Damian was not coming back. You know, they tussled a little bit in the beginning, but then after that, you know, Karrion Kross just had the upper hand, which just started washing them out. It was just like, all right, this is over.
Right, and Karrion Kross even went to, I think, Twitter or social media, and he was like, one of his toughest fight to date was against another fellow Boricua, Puerto Rican. So now, I never knew that Karrion Kross was Puerto Rican as well. So that's definitely news. And I know he's a fellow New Yorker, so I guess Karrion Kross also from New York too. So yeah. Definitely found out, you know, two things I didn't know about Karrion Kross with that whole tweet. But it was definitely a great match. You know, better than I thought it was. But like you said, at some point, Karrion's like, I'm tired of playing with him. Let me just finish this off. And then typical when you're beat fashion, you know, finish me off kind of. You know, Karrion Kross said something to. Damian Priest said something to Karrion Kross, and he caught him with the kick and then the forearm to the back of the head. So yeah.
Yeah, you know, I thought it was funny because it's like I thought that was very interesting because I'm like, Karrion Kross is from the Bronx and he's Puerto Rican. You can find no tougher Puerto Rican from anywhere in the world than the Bronx. So you want the toughest Puerto Ricans, you go to the Bronx. You go to New York and you find the toughest Puerto Ricans in the Bronx, New York. But I thought it was cool though because you got, you know, but I like the fact that they have diversity. Like now it's diverse. Like now you got Puerto Ricans, you know what I'm saying? You got more Latinos, you know what I'm saying? So, which is great. And then he's being built strong, you know what I mean? So, you know, nothing hokey, nothing weird. So, but I like that. I like what they're doing with his character. Dewan Davis says, I'm glad I'm not the only one who did not know he was Puerto Rican. Laugh out loud. Priest definitely getting called up after this. Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, Damian Priest is so that's one of the news that we heard that Damian Priest is supposed to be called up. Dewan Davis, you mentioned it, but we'll talk about that a little later. We just want to focus on a match, and then we're going to go to the news and rumors concerning call-ups and other news. But yeah, it was a good match. Yeah, Rhea Ripley versus Michelle Gonzalez.
Raquel, you mean?
I'm sorry, Raquel Gonzalez. I'm sorry, I forget her name. What was your thoughts on this match?
It was a good match. I definitely liked the spot when Dakota Kai came with the kendo stick and started beating up Rhea Ripley. Put her in the locker. Like that was like the funniest spot in the match. You know, Dakota Kai is real small. You know, and then outside of these two, brolic is to say it a nice term, women, you know, just fighting and trying to kill each other. But I mean, I feel it was a good match. You know, with them going outside and Rhea slamming Raquel through the glass door, and so it was a decent spot. I don't know if the spot where Raquel Gonzalez tried to hit Rhea Ripley with a back body drop on the announce table, and it did break, but I think Rhea landed wrong. I mean, it could be me just looking too much into it, but
it looked like she did land a little wrong. I thought it was a good match. I wasn't like highly entertained by it, but I thought it was a good match. You know, personally, I was really, because it was only 3 matches, right?
The Gargano and Johnny and Candice was fighting Shotzi Blackheart and Kushida was, I guess, to fill in for that time that they had where Tommaso Ciampa was supposed to fight. And the cruiserweight title match, which
right. I'm sorry. Because in my mind, I only seen 3 matches. Everything else, so everything else I kind of like, everything else I kind of like just totally kind of forgot about. Truth be told, but yeah, I remember the match against Grand Metalik and what's his name? Jesus Christ. He has the name of a popular drug lord. not Escobar.
Santos Escobar. That's it.
It's Escobar. It's Escobar. Right. Okay. Santos. Yeah. He has the name of a popular drug dealer. Right. Escobar. Right. So that was a good match. That was actually a good match. Yeah, man. I mean, so Gargano and Candice LeRae, right? Versus what is the name? Jesus, I don't.
Shotzi Blackheart and Kushida.
And Kushida, right? So that match I didn't see.
Okay.
That match I didn't see.
It was real basic. It wasn't nothing to jump up and down about. It was like, obviously it was an impromptu match. So, Candice and Johnny had the white t-shirts with the jeans. So, they clearly wasn't prepared to fight.
Okay.
So they say.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it was bad.
Yeah. All right. So let's just get to it, right? Let's just get to it. All right. The real match of the night: Kyle O'Reilly versus Finn Balor, right? Let's get to it. That's the only. I was on pins and needles waiting for this match. Kyle O'Reilly versus Finn Balor. Receipt paid in full. Finn Balor had to cash in that receipt on your boy Kyle O'Reilly. It was a great match.
Yes.
Finn Balor, he went in there much more aggressive than the last match when they fought the first time. Great match, very good match. What was your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it was a good match. I'm trying to debate in my head if it was better than the first one.
Yeah,
I don't think it was. I think this one was good, but I think the first one was better. It was a little more back and forth.
Yeah. I think I'm kind of in between. I think the reason why I'm in between was because the first match for me was I was excited just to see Finn Balor fight Kyle O'Reilly because knowing what Kyle O'Reilly could do and then see him and Finn mix it up and then seeing how well Kyle O'Reilly performed in the first match was like, oh, this is dope.
Right.
It was, because Kyle O'Reilly pretty much dominated most of the match, the first time they fought. But in this one, Finn Balor dominated. But what really put me on edge was, were they going to really put the belt on Kyle O'Reilly? And as I begin to look at Kyle O'Reilly's build to that match, I begin to see if he was ready for the NXT World Heavyweight Championship, and he wasn't. Personally, I don't think he's ready now. And I say this because based on his promo skills, his comfortability, and once again, when these performers have these opportunities to be in the main event picture, and they get put in promos, like when they came out about I think 2 weeks ago, and it was Damian Priest, Kyle O'Reilly, and what's the other guy name? The guy who does this.
Pete Dunne.
Pete Dunne, right? Pete Dunne, and all three of them were in the ring. And I'm listening to Kyle O'Reilly like cut his promo, and I'm like, bro, like you don't understand. Like this is your moment to shine, to prove and to show that you belong in the main event picture. Like you belong, you belong at the top. You belong. You need to be, you need to show how much you belong in that picture, how much you should have that title. And when Kyle O'Reilly, went out there and he cut like a basic promo, but he was just like relaxed. He didn't show any kind of like spark of oomph. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, you cut a cute promo, but it's just like, I don't think I want to see you on the mic all the time with the belt. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're a great wrestler, but there's still more work that needs to be done.
True.
Dewan Davis, thank you for joining us. He says, this was one of those matches I didn't care who won, to be honest. So Dewan Davis was actually, he didn't care who won, whether Finn or Kyle. I wanted Finn to win. I was definitely in favor of Finn holding on to the title. I wanted Finn to hold on to the title. I want his reign to continue on. I think he's a great champion. I think again he needs to continue to get his due for him not really getting his due as being Universal Champion, and again to show how great of a champion is. Finn continuously goes out there and cuts great promos. He's really displaying himself as a great leader, for being a champion.
Right, and I mean, to be honest with you, I wanted Finn to win also, but I would have been okay with Kyle O'Reilly winning. Because I'm a huge fan of Undisputed Era, obviously. So I would have been okay with it. I mean, do I feel Kyle is ready to be heavyweight champion? Not yet, because he just got out of the tag team wrestling for so long, and he just got put into the singles division without no, what I'm saying? I mean, for people who follow Kyle throughout the year, they know that what he can do. But to sit here and just throw him into the heavyweight title pitch. Now, if it was the North American Championship, yeah, he would have got it a long time ago. But you throw him into the heavyweight title. I guess it's to groom him, to get him ready for main event and spotlight, opportunities. So I've been okay. And like I said, I kind of thought that Kyle was going to win based on what we talked about in the previous show, where Karrion Kross is obviously coming back for the NXT Championship, and we figured that if they're going to give it to him, they'd rather him take it from Kyle than Finn. But if you think about it, the blockbuster main event that could be at TakeOver on Valentine's Day could be Finn and Karrion Kross, and that's going to be a good one.
It's going to be a good one. So that's the other thing, right? Karrion Kross versus Finn Balor, and I am in between about that one, in the sense that I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't want Finn Balor to lose the belt to Karrion Kross. If you ask me, I would want Finn Balor to come as the Demon. I want him to come, I want him to fight, Karrion Kross. I want him to keep everything as the same, but when he comes out as the Demon, as a surprise. Like he just shows up as a Demon. He has a good match with Karrion Kross and he beats Karrion Kross. I want Finn Balor to go over on Karrion Kross if they face off. Personally, that's what I want, because I want Finn Balor to hold on to that title. I want him to continuously be the champion. Karrion Kross winning the title. I do want Karrion Kross to win the title. I want Karrion Kross to get the belt. I just don't want him to get the belt over Finn. I don't think he should beat Finn. Finn is a veteran. Finn is a great competitor. Finn is, he's one of my favorites, and I'm not trying to be biased, but I just think that as far as his due and as far as him being a top competitor, I just feel like that's a person that Karrion Kross personally shouldn't beat. But it will be a great match, whether Karrion Kross wins or Finn Balor retains. I think it's still going to be a good match, and I would still love to see it.
Yeah, with me, I'm on the fence on it. I would love to see, I would love to see the match in general. it just depends on the route they're going with Karrion Kross, because he's this dominant guy now. The question would be, if he loses to Finn, would he lose his dominance, or would he lose what they have going for him? And as far as the Demon, that would be great, but we all know with the Demon character, he has to be pushed to that level. So if him and Karrion Kross have little basic promos here and there and things like that, I doubt he's going to bring the Demon. But Karrion would have to really just keep nudging at him and just poking at him and just keep, for him to be like, you know what, it's go time. So
yeah.
So that's my thoughts on that. But that would be a great match. But I feel like he would have to beat Finn, and then they would have to go back and forth a little bit, and then Finn would have to bring the Demon to come back. But I think it would be a decent match. I just don't want them to have that match and Karrion just starts dominating the match as he did, as we know with Damian Priest and even with Keith.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Like, I don't and that's how I feel about like with the whole angle with Finn and Karrion. Is like, Karrion comes in, just beats the crap out of Finn, and then takes the title. It's like, I don't want to see that. I'm gonna be honest, I do not want to see that. And I do agree, like, with you with how is it that they're gonna book Karrion Kross? Are they gonna continue to book him dominant? And if he does lose to Finn, being the Demon, does he lose his dominance? But if Finn comes the Demon, he doesn't lose his dominance because it's like, it's the Demon. It's like he's he's supposed to be an unbeatable character.
Right.
So if he loses to the Demon, it's like, well, you lost to the Demon. Like, that makes sense. But if you just lose to Finn Balor, then that could definitely chip away at his dominance. But you're right, though. They would have to nudge a bit at, like, Karrion Kross would have to nudge a bit at Finn. So that would only mean if they were going to bring the Demon into play, and how it could possibly play out. And a great storyline would be Karrion Kross, attacking Finn, on various occasions, doing promos and stuff like that, kind of like, pushing Finn around to whereas, Finn resorts to that arsenal of pulling out the Demon.
Right. And shout out to Scarlett. We definitely don't mention enough about the little bodysuit she had on.
Oh yeah.
New Year's Evil. Yeah. Shout out to Scarlett.
Yeah, Charlotte got some cakes, man.
Yeah.
She got some cakes, man. She got some serious cakes. All right.
But yeah.
Oh yeah. SmackDown. So we were talking about this before we came on live. This is an interesting one. So I'm just gonna get to it. I'm gonna get to what we talked about, which I thought was very interesting. So the Roman Reigns angle storyline with his name is Adam Pearce, right?
Yep.
Adam Pearce, right? So Roman Reigns comes out, he cuts the promo. That part I've seen. A majority of SmackDown I pretty much kind of missed. I went in and out. I've seen the gauntlet match all the way up until Shinsuke fought Daniel Bryan, and then after that I kind of like went to sleep. But so yeah, Jay. So just kind of recap what happened with the whole Adam Pearce promo in the beginning, and then the whole gauntlet with Shinsuke Nakamura.
All right, so basically what happened was, the beginning of the show, Roman calls out Adam Pearce, and Roman has an angle where he had people threatening at his table and disrespecting his family and stuff like that. So Roman had an issue with Adam Pearce, making the match with Jey Uso and Kevin Owens last week, because Roman said that they were done with Kevin Owens. So Roman was like, you know what, like, you got it, you disrespect my family, so he grabbed up Adam Pearce, and so they kind of stopped him. He's like, you know what, nah, I'll wait. So he walked off. So backstage, Sonya Deville is speaking with Adam Pearce, and she's like, yo, like, so she's saying how she's back, and how she wants to be an official, and it also makes a comment and say that, hey, I'm glad you're entering the gauntlet. So he was like, whoa, I'm not entering the gauntlet. Like, I haven't wrestled over 6 years. So then Paul Heyman comes, so Sonya Deville walks off, and Paul Heyman, cuts a little promo about, how they could have been great back in the day. And, but basically he's like, I pulled some strings, long story short, and I got you into the gauntlet match. Good luck. So he walked
Wait, good question. So Adam Pearce was a wrestler?
Yes. I'm going to show you. Somebody posted a video on one of the groups. I'm going to try to find it and send it to you. But
sure.
He had a match with Hangman Page. That's his last match.
Who?
Hangman Page. Adam.
Okay. Oh wow.
So yeah, so that was I didn't see the match. Like I saw it. I saw somebody had posted in the group. But I'm gonna send it to you when I find it.
Okay.
But so yeah, so so during the gauntlet match, you know, Rey Mysterio eliminates Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn's talking the whole time, and you know he loses. Then then I think Baron Corbin comes out, or Shinsuke comes out second. He beats Rey. Baron Corbin comes out. You know, Shinsuke beats Corbin. And then Daniel Bryan comes out. Shinsuke beats Daniel Bryan. So then, you know, Shinsuke, you know, he says he feels he won because he beat all the scheduled competitors. So,
Right.
you know, Roman and Jay comes out, and you know, Jay gets in the ring like, "Oh, you about to get this work," you know, talking trash. So he starts attacking Shinsuke, catching a super kick. Roman catches him with a Superman punch. Jay, you know, hits Shinsuke with this splash with the top ropes, throw him in the corner. So then they go outside and tell Adam Pearce, like, yo, go do your job. So Roman throws Adam Pearce in the ring. So Adam Pearce, now mind you, Adam Pearce has on a WWE jacket, some slack sneakers. So he throws him in the ring, and he's standing like, yo, I don't know what to do. I don't really want to be here. So then Jay Uso super kicks him, and then he knocks him out. Then he ends up, you know, putting him on Shinsuke. So Roman gets in the ring, and the referee's like, "Oh, I don't know what to do." So Roman's like, "Yo, ring the bell." And he makes the official ring the bell, and he's like, "Yo, go do your job." And you know, ref goes to count 3, and you know, Adam Pearce ends up winning the gauntlet match. So now we're gonna have Roman versus Adam Pearce at Royal Rumble for the Universal title.
For the Universal title. So we know Adam Pearce is not going to go over on Roman. But this is interesting. So I didn't know. Well, his name did sound familiar. So I probably did know about him being a wrestler, but I just totally forgot because it's been so long ago. So how long ago was it that Adam Pearce retired?
His last match was 2014.
That's not that. Well, what, 7 years ago?
Yeah, about 6, 7 years ago, right?
Yeah. So yeah, we're in 2021. Yeah, 2014. Yeah. So about 7 years ago. So Adam Pearce is going to fight Roman Reigns, which is going to be an interesting match. So I was saying to Jay earlier, I was just thinking, I was just like, okay, so we could have a Shinsuke Nakamura match versus Roman Reigns, but instead we have Adam Pearce versus Roman Reigns. So it's so interesting but knowing little about Adam Pearce, I think I said Adam Page, but knowing little about Adam Pearce, you know, you won't know that he was a former competitor. So this is going to be interesting because I don't know how high he was praised on the indie circuit before becoming an official. But this will be interesting because I want to see if Adam Pearce actually puts on like a real legitimate match, like him and Roman really put on like a real match, or Adam Pearce just goes in there and just totally acts like he's never wrestled a day in his life. So I wonder how that's going to play out. But if Adam Pearce goes in there and goes to work, that'll be dope. I think I would like that more. But also, I still want to see Shinsuke Nakamura versus Roman Reigns. So hopefully they're working at an angle or working at some kind of storyline to build Shinsuke Nakamura versus Roman. Because after the Royal Rumble, we have what, 2 more pay-per-views or 1 more pay-per-view? We have.
I believe it's 1 more because I think Rumble is in March, the end of March, beginning of April. So
it's either going to be Great Balls of Fire or Fast Lanes, one of the two.
All right,
Fast Lane. All right. So it's going to be Fast Lanes, and then after Fast Lanes, we have WrestleMania. So in WrestleMania right now, so as you guys know, the rumor that was teased was Goldberg versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. But as we can see, they switched it up and said, hey, we're going to have Goldberg challenge Drew McIntyre at the Royal Rumble. So now I'm kind of curious as to know who is going to be Roman's opponent at WrestleMania. I think it might be Kevin. I think it's going to be Kevin. I think Kevin's going to win the Royal Rumble, and Kevin is going to go on to face Roman Reigns for the Universal title at WrestleMania, and he's going to either beat Roman or lose. But I think he's going to beat Roman. I think Kevin is going to be the winner of the Royal Rumble. It makes sense. Is that what I want? I think so. I'm not sure. But we'll see what happens. But that's what I'm predicting. So after Goldberg has this match with Drew McIntyre, we probably won't see Goldberg again. But this is a very interesting angle. So I want to know who Roman's going to fight at WrestleMania. I want to know who Drew is going to face. But so far, if they want to build the right WrestleMania, and I'll be honest with you, even though this may not, I don't know. I think it would work if they want to build the right WrestleMania. Randy would fight Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania, and Kevin Owens would fight Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. If they want to build the right WrestleMania, that would be the correct WrestleMania. Anything else would kind of just be matches slapped together. But you want the right WrestleMania because those were the two hottest feuds, or the best feuds that we kind of had with those guys holding the titles. It was Kevin and Roman, Randy and Drew McIntyre. And I think that if they do that, then you'll feel like the feud in itself was really worth it. And you'll begin to reflect back on the feud as being even better than it was. Personally, DeJuan Davis says, yeah, I agree with Kevin Owens. Yeah, so it makes sense, but I'd be happy if Kevin Owens win that Universal title, man. I'd be cool. Like, I'd be like, yeah, like this is a long time coming, that'd be interesting.
Yeah, that's an interesting story. One thing I liked about SmackDown was we do have new SmackDown tag champs. That was it, the Raw Dogs. They are. Mm-hmm. They call the Raw Dogs, right?
So Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler they call themselves the Raw Dogs.
I think this is the Raw Dogs, I think they're Raw Dogs.
The Raw, like RAW dog, or like Road or Raw Dog.
Hold on, let me make sure that I don't want to, botch their team name.
Yeah. The Raw Dogs. Wasn't that Martin Lawrence's name when he fought Tommy Hearns? Raw Dog. Raw Dog Martin Payne. So, but yeah, so I think this will be so. Dolph Ziggler and Bobby Roode won the titles off of the Street Profits. I'm sorry. I'm just like, so I don't know. Listen. This is my thing, right? I want Dolph Ziggler and I want Bobby Roode to go solo. I do. I think they're a great tag team. I think it's cool. But come on, they're not. It's like I just want these two guys are single competitive.
That's Dirty Dogs.
The Dirty Dogs.
Yeah, DAWGS.
That's funny. The Dirty Dogs. Dirty Dogs. DeJuan Davis says, I think Ford is hurt actually. So Ford is hurt. Montez Ford is hurt. So if that's the case, then it makes sense why they have the titles. I don't care. I still want them to be singles competitors. I don't care. I don't even want them to have. I mean, they have the belts, which is a cool thing. I think this is like Dolph Ziggler's third tag team championship. Third time he held it. He held it like once with Drew. He held it once with Bobby Roode before.
Right.
He held it with who else?
I think that's the not the Toon Squad, the cheerleaders.
Spirit Squad.
Squad, yeah.
Right. Dewan Davis, Bobby has always been great solo. Absolutely. So that's the thing. I just think that they should be like, it's like when I look at Bobby Roode and I look at Dolph Ziggler, because again, I want to see a Bobby Roode versus like like Roman Reigns. Like I want to see Bobby and Roman. I want to see Bobby and Big E. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I want to see certain people, go against Bobby. Like Bobby's a singles competitor. I don't understand he's being put in the tag division. But it's so funny. Dewan Davis brought up Montez Ford being hurt, because possibly one of the reasons why they probably having tag matches because Bobby could have some type of injury, like some nagging injury or whatever. So I guess to minimize the ring time, they pair certain wrestlers up to kind of like help them recover a little bit better, or to prevent any any more injuries, or make the injury worse, or further the worst the injury or whatever. But anyways, anything else happened on SmackDown?
See, Big E's match with Apollo Crews was trash.
Okay, so yeah, so check. Okay, so I know that Apollo Crews apparently won initially, but what happened?
So apparently the ref said both their shoulders was down, so he called it a draw.
Okay.
So then so it went to commercial break and it came back as a draw. So Big E extended his hand. He's like, "That was a good job. It was a good match." So Apollo's like, "No, bump that. I should have won. I don't accept your congratulations." So Big E's like, "Yo, listen, it was a good match. Put his hand out." So Apollo Crews slapped him.
He slapped him in the face, or he slapped his hand?
I slapped him in the face.
Okay.
So Big E looked at the ref. He gave the bell. He's like, "Yo, ring the bell." So then, Big E went off and he hit a couple moves. Then he tried to hit with the big ending. He missed. So Apollo got out. Then it was a small back and forth, which Big E ended up winning anyway. So.
Okay. Sounds good. That's good. So now they're going to book. I guess they're going to book somewhat of a rivalry, which would be good. I mean, which would be good. I felt like Apollo Crews lost the belt too early. But same thing with Ricochet, lost the belt too early.
Yeah, definitely. Ricochet never lost to AJ Styles.
Should have never lost. He should have beat him. But yeah.
Right.
And then it was, yeah, because that was like the perfect example of like being overused. Like it was just like AJ was booked in that position. I guess they felt like AJ would bring more star power to the United States title, but it's like you already have star power. Like just have him fight a match with Ricochet. Your star power in the match is enough to shine more light on Ricochet to show that Ricochet is like the guy with the belt. Like don't feel like, it's like stop doubting, your performers. Like give him opportunity, like to shine. Like this is a guy who's going to beat AJ, who's going to shine in beating AJ, and from there, let him carry on with holding the title and XYZ. Anything else happen on SmackDown that we need to mention?
I like.
Wasn't Sami Zayn up there crying again, like a little crybaby?
Yeah, the conspiracy, how he asked to enter the gauntlet match, and he was awarded it, but then he's like, yeah, but then ironically they put me to start the match, which statistically is the worst chances of winning, and this whole crybaby antics. I did enjoy the Bianca Belair and Bailey, promo backstage. That was kind of funny at the same time.
Okay.
Did you see that promo?
No, I didn't get the chance to see it.
All right, so Bianca Belair is about to interview with some new girl, and Bailey comes back there. So Bailey's like, yeah, you entered the Royal Rumble. She's like, I was going to enter last year. No, she's like, how many people did you eliminate in that last year? So Bianca was like 8. She was like 8. So like you squandered your opportunity of winning the Royal Rumble last year. She's like, but she said, but you didn't eliminate me. So Bianca's like, yeah, you wasn't in the Rumble. She's like, yeah, you're right, because I had the longest reigning women's championship reign of history, blah, blah, blah. So So Bianca was like, "Oh, that's funny." She's like, she's like, you know what? It's funny because she said, if I would have won the Royal Rumble last year, and I would have been pleasure to fight you for the belt, but unfortunately, you don't have the belt, so I can't even do that this year because you seem like you squandered your title reign and just walked off. Like,
Oh wow.
so, yes, that was pretty funny. And
I like how they're building Bianca. So the SmackDown champion is Sasha Banks,
right.
and Sasha's running a feud with Carmella.
I don't know why, but yeah.
But I'm gonna tell you right now. I'll tell you right now. I would like to see Bianca Belair fight Sasha Banks for the SmackDown Championship at WrestleMania.
Absolutely. That's why right now Bianca's my pick to win a Rumble.
Yeah. That'll be a dope women's match. So I think we're gonna get an Asuka versus Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania.
I can see that. I can see Charlotte somehow turning on her because it's funny. Like I watched the whole 24 or the documentary with Charlotte. It's like 15 minutes. Her TLC. She came back. She goes and say how Asuka's good friend. She's good friends with Asuka, and I'm like, what are you talking about? Like when you was basically last time you was there, you and Asuka was like worst enemies. Like you clearly your last match actually to take the women's championship from her, and you claim that she got lucky. So
right
now all of a sudden y'all are friends.
They're like best friends, right? They go out to get your nails done and your hair done, and you go shopping together, and sometimes you exchange.
So
you go to the spa, they exchange cooking recipes together. These are best friends now. Like, stop it, Jesus Christ. Okay, this is interesting. I just got an article that just came up. WWE injured superstar teases a return. Okay, I've read this article. I guess we'll talk about that news and rumors. But who would you like to see Asuka fight at WrestleMania?
Shayna.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. That's exactly what I was going to say, Shayna. But
yeah, I feel like with the rest, even though Shayna was in the WrestleMania main event last year, I feel like Shayna should be the one. But knowing Vince, somehow or another, he's gonna somehow throw Becky Lynch into this mix because she should be coming back anytime at this point. So I'm sure when she comes back, she's gonna be thrown into the mix because so for the women that's out there, I'm not a woman, so I don't know how long women naturally need after giving birth. But I believe they had the baby in December, so it'll be January, February, March, about 3 months.
Yeah.
3 to 4 months that she's since the baby, so maybe she's healthy enough to compete again. I don't know.
Yeah. But I think if anything, they're gonna just take Becky and just throw her into the Royal Rumble, have her win as a surprise. She's gonna come as a surprise entrance, win, and fight Asuka because she never lost. She relinquished her belt to Asuka, so it would make sense for her to come back and take the belt from Asuka, which would be dope. So I would be totally cool with that. D1 Davis says, "Can we just make Asuka the technically fifth horsewoman?" If they actually build the stable again, that'll be cool. Well, we can get rid of Bailey. You don't do Bailey.
Ding dong.
Bailey, everybody got charisma except for Bailey. Like everybody, you got Charlotte, you got Becky, you got Charlotte, Becky, Sasha. You know what I'm saying? You don't need Bailey. Like bye, get out of here. Whatever. But anyways, so Becky Lynch is expected to return anytime soon.
I believe so. I mean, like I said, she gave birth in December, so knowing how, because Seth's actually supposed to come back on New Year's. I don't know what happened. They nixed that return, but Seth should be coming back soon, and once he comes back,
yeah,
Becky's gonna be back shortly after. So
yeah, I heard
But again, how long they have to do before before women can come back after giving birth. So
yeah, D1 David says, but it's so true. No, it is true, D1. I'm quite we agree. Yes, get her out of here. Get her out of here. No charisma. Like, I don't even know why she even held the belt that long. I know why. I do know why, but it's like she didn't deserve that honor, but she held the belt that long out of spite of Sasha. That's why they have her hold the belt that long out of spite of Sasha for Sasha leaving, the year before last. All right, so let's just get into some news and rumors real quick.
Oh, I can touch base. I sent you a clip. I want you to watch that clip while I touch, because I actually caught up with AEW for the second consecutive week. I'm trying.
Which clip?
Huh?
Which clip?
The first clip I showed you. I sent you the Adam Pearce match, but look at the first one I sent you while I touch base on AEW real quick.
I mean, do you want? Okay, all right.
I mean, you can play it if you want.
Or the clip?
Yeah, you can play it if you want.
Okay.
But yeah, AEW was cool. Like, they stole my idea, because me and you talked about this a couple weeks ago, where I feel that they should form the Bullet Club, and then and they should just run shock around all three brands with Finn, AJ, and apparently AEW and Impact has done that with the Young Bucks. The Good Brothers and Kenny Omega, forming, the Bullet Club after beating up John Moxley on, so that was one high point in the video I sent you that you're gonna play. Is gonna be another high point. So if you guys haven't seen this, get ready.
But this is the Adam Pearce match, right?
No, yeah, before the Adam Pearce match. The clip I sent you before the Adam Pearce match.
All right, so the other clip you sent me before the Adam Pearce match, I didn't get that clip.
You didn't get it?
No, I didn't get that one.
It's a quick video. Hold on.
No, I didn't get that one. That one I didn't get. It didn't show up.
It's still sending.
It's still sending.
All right, it's almost done.
All right.
Well, that's weird. Right? So Adam Pearce.
All right, so I can't show this clip.
With Adam Pearce?
Yeah, because this is on Adam Pearce's page. And if I show it, then our video might get flagged.
No, you don't got to show that, because that's what you call it? I'm saying that's something that you could check out. It's a 14-minute video. We're not gonna say watch a 14-minute match.
Okay.
That's just
because I was like to say that'll be too long.
It shows it's sick. I try to send it again. That's weird. It's messing up our timing. Stupid video. All right, there you go. Finally.
Okay. All right. So the clip is up. All right. Let's see. Let's get this. So is this the one with Brody Lee's son?
No, that's not his promo. That was funny too. That's not his promo.
Okay.
This happened during Impact.
Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. All right. Cool. Let me see. All right. So. All right. So I got the clip. All right. Excellent. All right, okay. Hold on a second. right, bear with me. And I'm going to show this clip. Screen. All right. All right. So.
I hope you're ready for this.
Huh?
I said, I hope you're ready for this.
Okay. All right. Let me turn my volume up because I. Okay. All right. Okay.
Seidel's going on top.
Oh, I see. Oh yeah. Okay. The Snoop Dogg splash. The doggy dog splash. It's the doggy dog.
What the hell's he doing? He told us to move him closer.
It's horrible.
What are you gonna do? Go get him. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Yeah, baby. That's not official. Yes, it is. It's not an official count. He's 9 feet tall.
That is the worst body splash I've ever seen in my life. That is the worst body splash I've ever seen. Oh my God. Like he jumps and then his feet are like he lands on his feet and then falls on him like an old man. Like,
if you keep watching it, they show it from a different angle too, and it's just hilarious. It's even worse when they show it from a different angle. You're gonna be like, Snoop.
All right, no, it's like you said, they show it from a different angle. All right.
They show it from a different angle.
I think they have a piece of spaghetti.
Then I realized it's Evan Bourne from what I found out.
I hate all these guys.
Oh God, Snoop.
And what a way to go into Go Big Show tomorrow night, 9/8 Central on TBS. Set your DVRs now.
The Snoop got to be having the best sports life in 2 years. Now that's true. That is true though.
Everything he does, and I hate it. He is so freaking cool. You know, Tony, look at this right at the top.
Oh God. Really? That's just horrible, man.
And that's the bottom line. And don't forget tomorrow, 9 o'clock, 8 Central on TBS. Go Big Show. Set your DVRs right now. It's going to be a great television show, ladies and gentlemen. You can't miss it.
Snoop Dogg does the worst frog splash I've ever seen in my life. That was horrible, man. That was disgusting. That was gross. Oh man. Jose, thank you, Josue of Vasquez. He joins. He says his splash looked pathetic. It was horrible, man. It was one of the worst. It was, and then like he's going up to the ropes, and you see his legs all quivering and shaking. He's like an old man, like old man walking with a cane. Like, get your old ass off that entire rope, man. Oh man, this guy, man. All right, man. Let's get into some news and rumors. Unless you want to go, unless there's more AEW you want to recap.
Nah, we're just the Bullet Club forming on AEW, and I wanted to talk about the Snoop splash. But outside of that, nothing else like really stood out to me.
So I mean, the Bullet Club reforming. So I seen a picture, but they just came back together for that moment, right?
No, I think that's actually they're gonna be like that moving forward because like I said, Kenny Omega fought Felix, I forgot his name, but he ended up beating him, and then he went to attack him at the end of the match. So John Moxley came out with a barbed wire baseball bat, started hitting Kenny Omega with it, and then the Good Brothers came out, and some other guys came out, and they was trying to stop him, but anybody tried to get in the ring, the Good Brothers stopped him from getting in the ring. So then the other team, I can't think of their name right now. What's the Rockers? Please forgive me, guys. I can't think of their name. But anyways,
Young Bucks.
The Young Bucks, right? So the Young Bucks come out and they're trying to stop. They look like they're trying to reason with the Good Brothers to chill, stop attacking everybody. And then somebody got on the apron, and then they end up super kicking one of the guys. So they're like, oh, wait a minute, what could it be? So then Kenny Omega puts up the high sign, and the Good Brothers put up the high sign with them, and then the Young Bucks end up. So they all five of them, is in the middle of the ring putting up the high sign. So I guess that's an official. They're officially going to be going from show to show with the Bullet Club now.
Okay. Okay. And they can go to New Japan Pro because Jon Moxley is the New Japan Pro United States champion. Josue on Snoop Dogg says he says he wasn't even in the corner. Yeah, it was gross, man. He wasn't even in the corner. He was at the worst. He should have practiced before he actually went out there.
Yeah, definitely. He just tried to wing it. Unless he practiced, he got nervous. Being doing it live. I don't know, but yeah.
Yeah, that was. Oh man. But yeah, this is good. This is good. This sounds borderline. This is like revolutionary almost. This is revolutionary. They're going to revolutionize sports right now. They're going to revolutionize sports. The Bullet Club, New Japan Pro, AEW, and Impact Wrestling going because that is the draw. Bullet Club is the draw.
Right.
I'm pausing because I have a thought. When this works out, now WWE has to be concerned about losing AJ and Finn Balor.
Definitely.
They're going to be concerned. So Vince McMahon needs Vince. I mean, I have faith in Triple H, but Vince needs to get it together. Vince needs to realize what's happening. He needs to come to a realization. I know you're the big guy. I know you're the top brand. But when this works out, because Bullet Club has become an entity, like Bullet Club is now, we have NWO, which is like, the inception of it all, right? But Bullet Club is like the new version of the NWO, but just, still thriving, without, the politics behind it. But when this works out, Finn Balor and AJ Styles will be hot agents because we would want to see Finn Balor. If Finn Balor leaves WWE and goes to AEW and goes back to Bullet Club, I'm done. I'm done with WWE. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm done.
I mean, even Adam Cole. Adam Cole's another one.
Yeah, Adam. Right. I'm sorry. Yeah.
So yeah, Adam Cole's another one. So yeah. So like I said, Vince, he really needs to open his eyes and realize, like, times are changing. So whatever worked in the past before is not working now. You know what I'm saying? Because you're losing fans, you're losing viewership. Because honestly, to be real with you, like WWE is already established, right? Yeah. So for WWE, for NXT, even though NXT is a lower brand or whatever like that, but for NXT to lose the rating battle every Wednesday to Impact, Impact to Dynamite, where Dynamite is a new company, but NXT's been around for years. That should tell you right there, like, okay, wait a minute, I need to change something because now AEW's gonna build momentum. They're gonna build this powerhouse, and Vince is gonna be, looking in the background like, "Dag, what I should have, or what if?" So right now is the time where you either need to brainstorm or start building other competitors, or start doing what you got to do because fans are gonna start watching it, and honestly, it may be worse than because WCW just had WCW, the demise on their own, but you got 3 or 4 different organizations that's working together against just you by yourself.
And you got Bullet Club going from New Japan Pro to AEW to Impact. I'm watching it.
Right.
I'm watching it. Jon Moxley is in New Japan Pro. He's defending. He has a United States Championship. So I'm like, if he's because he had that in the AEW Heavyweight Championship at the same time. He just gave it up to Kenny Omega. So you got that happening right now. You got the AEW champion going over to Impact. This is crazy. The only now when you start seeing more Bullet Club members trickling from New Japan Pro over to AEW and just coming over there just to do quick work and stuff like that, having like Evil and Jay White, because they just we'll get to that later. Josue Vasquez says NXT went down when Vince started taking over. He also says that Jose Vasquez says Vince should be really concerned. He should, absolutely. But the only way, I tell you right now, the only way if like, you know, you have the Bullet Club happening, you know, and so forth, and say like, you know, they start really like, you know, really crossing brands, and we really see them jump brand to brand to brand and having like little spots, because all they need to do is just have segments of Bullet Club in each program, you know, New Japan Pro, Impact, and AEW. The only way that they can compete with that, it's only one way, and that's Finn, AJ, and Adam Cole, and say like they come under Undisputed Era.
Mm.
That'd be the only way that would work, that they can combat that. But I don't think Finn will go against his baby.
I mean,
Bullet Club is his baby. That's his child. That's his baby. He made Bullet Club. He won't go against it.
I mean, yeah, but it's not necessarily going against it, but you're doing your own version of it. You know what I'm saying, like a 2.0 kind of thing. So
yeah, because they did form Balor Club in WWE. They did it. You know, they ran it for like a month. They formed, you know, they formed Bullet Club, but didn't say it was Bullet Club with AJ and the Good Brothers. You had Finn and the Good Brothers.
They call it the club.
They call it the club, right? And I guess they didn't want to associate Bullet with it because of the controversy behind it. But anyway, all right, we got to move forward because it's going on an hour and we got stuff to do. All right, so we are going to get into some news and rumors. All right, WWE announces multiple injuries at NXT New Year's Evil. Jay?
Yeah, so apparently, for the second consecutive time, Finn Balor and Kyle O'Reilly fought and tried to kill each other.
Yeah.
Where they both were rushed to the hospital immediately after the match. So if you guys noticed, during the match, Finn was holding his arm, you know, towards the end of the match, and Kyle O'Reilly, you know, was holding his jaw. So, you know, they went to the hospital to get tested for those injuries. We don't know how severe they are or what the injuries exactly were, but we know that they did get rushed to the hospital for those injuries. So I think that should be a sign to have the two stop fighting before they actually kill each other. Or they got to have an ambulance match.
All right, so I don't think they're gonna book a. Do you think they're gonna book a match against them again?
No.
Okay.
But Finn did say he wants to fight Pete Dunne.
I wanted to see Finn Balor versus Pete Dunne at New Year's Eve. That's what I really wanted to see.
Yeah, me too.
I wanted to see that. I wanted to see that more than I wanted to see him fight Kyle O'Reilly again. I wanted to see him fight Kyle O'Reilly again, but I wanted to see him fight Pete Dunne, then, you know, do another work with Kyle O'Reilly. And I felt like the Kyle O'Reilly match could have been given to us on a regular NXT show. But so these guys are both injured. Hopefully the injuries are not severe. I pray that Finn is okay. I hope that Kyle O'Reilly is okay. We don't need no more injuries. We really don't. But that's interesting. This is some big news. Former NXT Women's Champion being called up.
Yeah, so as you guys noticed, you guys realized to say, Rhea Ripley did get defeated by Raquel Gonzalez, which indicates she is being called up. Now, they haven't indicated whether she's going to be on SmackDown or Raw, but by the end of this month, she's going to be called up to the main roster. So she's definitely done with, well, they're moving her up from the NXT platform.
My, how the past revisits itself. Yeah. So we all know that was long overdue. Rhea Ripley should have beat Charlotte Flair for that title. But this is good news. This is good news nonetheless. We don't want to relish in what was done in the past. It happened. This is good news for Rhea Ripley because Rhea Ripley's now is going to be on the main roster. Hopefully it's good news. We have hopes and expectations that she will be utilized properly. We have hopes and expectations. Please, she needs to be used properly. We need more female talent to compete. Josue says, just as long as they don't screw up her character. Yeah, Josue, that's what we're hoping. We're hoping that Rhea Ripley gets handled properly. If Rhea Ripley gets handled properly, then it shouldn't be a problem at all. Josue also says she lost against Charlotte because her work visa was expired. Okay. She still could have held on to the title. This is my opinion. I just because again, like Brock Lesnar fought one pay-per-view a month.
Right.
He did that for a year. He was only fighting pay-per-views. Like there's no excuse. Like she could have held on to it, worked out with a visa, and came back and then fought. You know what I'm saying? Like they worked. Like see NXT, they made room for Finn. So even though I understand what you're saying, like that's the reason why she dropped the title. But that was their reason for. That's the reason why she didn't win the title. But that was their reason for why they didn't want to give her the title. But it was like, nah, they could work with her. They can do whatever they want. They could have just put the belt on her, and then after she worked everything out with her visa, came back within a month and then fought. You know what I'm saying? And then still defended the title.
I guess with her, they didn't really know because her visa expired and it was the middle of the pandemic, so it was kind of new. They didn't know what was going on or what the situation was. Now we see Sami Zayn did the same thing, but Sami was in Canada, so Canada is still considered, but they have more leeway with Canada. But I think Europe is from UK and something like that. So yeah, so they're I guess their things a little different. So so that's why I guess they didn't know how long. I mean, like you said, they could have, let her keep the belt, and once they found information, they could have then stripped her or something like that. But I agree. But as far as growing her character, Triple H is big on Rhea Ripley. So being that Triple H is real big on her, I think he's gonna. I think certain wrestlers, Triple H is definitely gonna go to bat for, and he's gonna strive, even if he got to be in Vince's ear, like, you need to do this, you need to do that. And I think Rhea Ripley, Finn Balor, Adam Cole are three of the ones that he's gonna, put his name on the line for when it comes to that. Keith Lee, not so much, but definitely those three.
Yeah, Josue says Rhea is Australian.
Okay, my bad. Yeah, she's from Australia.
Yeah, she's from Australia. But again, see, like, because all right, check this out, right? So Charlotte Flair comes back. She took a sabbatical. She comes back. She's already put in a tag match. No problem, right? She wins the tag match. No problem. She gets a belt handed to her. No problem, right? So with Rhea Ripley, understand like her work visa was understand like her work visa was the reason why she didn't win the belt. But to me, again, why wasn't she put back on the main roster? Why wasn't she being pushed into the into the women's title division? Like, why was she pushed as a champion or pushed to fight for the belt? Why did she get the belt? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, that's why, but not really, because they could have given to her anyway, or just gave her the title match. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so WWE making major push for international star. Apparently, this is some interesting news. So we were just talking about Bullet Club, right? We were talking about them crossing brands. But this is very interesting. Early this week, New Japan Pro Wrestling presented its annual Wrestle Kingdom show, which again ran over 2 nights on January 4th and 5th. The shows were both headlined by matches for IWGP Heavyweight and IWGP Intercontinental titles, with Kota Ibushi emerging as the double champion. Aha. He had to beat 2 people on the way there though. And one of those 2 might be heading elsewhere. Those 2 people, or one of those 2 people, the Super J Cast, which has a history of accurately breaking stories, reports that Jay White is undecided about renewing his contract with New Japan. As a result, WWE is said to be making a strong play for him. Though it's not clear if White is interested, White is reportedly 50-50 on whether he stays in New Japan or goes elsewhere. White lost to Ibushi in the main event of Night 2 of Wrestle Kingdom 15 on Tuesday morning. Okay. So let me just spell it out how I see it. So Jay White has been, from what I understand, Jay White has been in competition for the New Japan Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Championship belt. He is a former leader of the Bullet Club. I believe Evil is now the current leader. I could be wrong. I think it changed. You guys can correct me, let me know. But I just want to get to this point, really, that Jay White is pretty much in a place of, if I don't get heavyweight gold in New Japan Pro, or I have no guarantee of that, of being pushed, he's probably going to come to WWE. Because from what I've been seeing, that Jay White has been pushed as like a high marquee character. He's a former New Japan Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Champion. You know what's so funny? You know what's the funniest thing? I'm sorry, this is very random, but Finn Balor is the creator of the Bullet Club, and every other leader besides him has been heavyweight champion. Jay White, Kenny Omega, AJ Styles, Evil, Adam Cole. But Adam Cole wasn't in New Japan Pro though.
Oh, he's just Ring of Honor.
Yeah, he's just Ring of Honor. But yeah, Adam Cole was Ring of Honor heavyweight champion. But yeah, so anyway, that was just a random thought. But that's what I think was going to happen. That's why I think Jay White is at. If Jay comes to WWE, this is going to be very interesting. It's going to be interesting because if you have Jay White, AJ Styles, Finn Balor, and Adam Cole all together, because the only person you really be missing is Kenny Omega, really. I mean Cody, but Cody wasn't like the leader of Bullet Club. He was a member though.
Right.
That'll be interesting. That'll be very interesting. But to have them all together would be even better. WWE plans to move Damian Priest to Smackdown.
But right now it's unclear where they're moving Damian.
Okay.
Because initially, now I ain't talked about this. So initially, Damian Priest was supposed to have been debut on SmackDown, and the plan was to have him be Kevin Owens' best friend to help him feud with Roman and Jey Uso.
Okay.
But Kevin Owens nixed it, like, yo, I don't need another best friend right now. It doesn't make sense to have him come in. And Roman agreed. So that's why those plans were nixed. So, and I agree with them too. Like, to have Damian Priest come in with, as Kevin Owens' best friend out of nowhere, it's like having Sheamus and Drew McIntyre best friend that we don't know about. So it's kind of weird to have. Right. And Kevin Owens had enough best friends for right now. Just let him do him by himself. But
right. I was thinking, I don't mean to cut you off, but How many best friends has he had? He had Sami Zayn. He had the New Day. Who else he had?
Chris Jericho.
Chris Jericho, right? Chris Jericho.
Um,
Who else? How many best friends did he have? You know, Kevin Owens seemed to be a very friendly guy.
So yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, we don't need to see. Oh, yeah, we don't need to see him in any more best friend roles right now. But yeah, so right now they're debating whether to send Priest to Raw or SmackDown. He hasn't confirmed. They haven't confirmed which one. But there again, the initial plan was SmackDown, but right now it's in the air. But he's definitely gonna be appearing on one of those two shows very soon.
Yeah, Damian Priest would actually be an excellent addition. I would have expected Damian Priest to really win the NXT Heavyweight Championship title, but it's interesting that he would go there. Dewan Davis says he really ain't good with friends, not named Sammy. Right. I mean, yeah, he definitely isn't. He's not good with friends. He's turned on every friend he's had, from Jericho to New Day to Sami Zayn was actually the real screwed up one. You know, he tried to end his career. Like, damn, like, you know.
They were best friends 2 or 3 times, and you know it all didn't end well. So
yeah, it didn't end well. Yeah, Kevin doesn't do well with friends. He doesn't. He's not. I guess he's not that friendly of a guy, but he is friendly in some way, some capacity. I don't know. Interesting. So let's see what happens. Last bit of news, unless you have something else, Jay, after this. Mick Foley requests Donald Trump be taken out of Hall of Fame. So you guys knows what's going on with the whole rioting and the Trump supporters wanting there to be a recount with the whole electoral college and his reinstatement as president. So Mick Foley put a tweet up, and he says, for the people who were rioting and the people who were, protesting for you, not rioting, I'm sorry, people who were protesting for you, he tweets to Trump. He says, their deaths are their safety is on your hands. So he and Mick Foley, he wants Vince McMahon, of course, to take Donald Trump's name out of the Hall of Fame because of what happened and so forth. And I think this is very interesting in a sense. Well, I like the fact that Foley actually did that. But I think that so this is my question. Let me just throw this out here, right? If someone is put in the Hall of Fame, right, and they partake in some controversial actions, right, whether good, whether bad, whether personal, that are private, but it was exposed, should they be removed from the Hall of Fame? That's my question. Do you think they should be? Even if it's something you do not agree with, should their work and their efforts that they put in be removed from the Hall of Fame? Dewan Davis says, so I agree, but then this is going to be a big snowball effect, but I agree with the snowball effect too. Laugh out loud. No, that's true. It's a snowball effect because, Jimmy Superfly Snicker should be removed from the Hall of Fame. Like, the guy was like, he pled guilty. Like, I think pled guilty or was convicted of killing his wife.
Yeah, but that was like 40 years later, though. I mean, I get it, but
murder is murder. Like, I'm just saying, like, let me ask you a question. Like, people say stuff like, because people like, oh, Bill Cosby went to jail for drugging these women and sleeping with them. They was like, this is like 30, 40, 50 years ago. I'm like, rape is rape. Like, it's like, you can't, like, my thing is this, is like, if me and you sitting in, if me and you, like, if a dude is at your house and he's a friend and you got a daughter and he tells you a story about him messing with some girl who was underage and it happened years ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he doesn't say to you, oh, that was a mistake and that was his past, but he just tells you about the situation and leaves it there. You become you be kind of looking at this guy kind of sketchy, like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's situations like that we look at where people do things that have not been clear on whether they deemed what they did as a mistake or they were very adamant about their actions and don't care. You know what I'm saying? So the snowball effect, you know what I'm saying? But on the other hand, though, I do understand nobody's perfect. People make mistakes. Everybody makes bad decisions. Everybody has made really bad decisions all across the board. I've made really bad decisions. Everybody makes really bad decisions. And when we make really bad decisions, we still should be forgiven for our bad decisions because we're human and we are not perfect. But it's about learning from those bad decisions and doing those bad things. But however, it's like a person, like for what Trump has been doing, it's very intentional. It's very intentional, unapologetic. It's very intentional. And then it's just like some actions is just like, okay, you're condoning some things, and what you condone and us being in association with you can make us look bad. That's why, and I just want to say this real quick, Jay, because I know you got something to say. With Hogan, that's why when I looked at Hogan's situation, I forgave him because it was like he apologized. He was like, and what he said was in private. Though what he said was in private, how he lived his life in open in the public, he still showed love to African Americans. He was one of the people who he pulled in Mr. T. You know what I'm saying? So he had a bad view. You know what I'm saying? But it was out of his concern for the safety of his daughter and how he viewed another African American person. What he said was wrong. Should he have said it? No, he shouldn't have said it. But however, as a man, he owned up to it and took the actions to try to repair what he did and said, I apologize. I'm trying to make it right. I know what I said was wrong. I know how I thought was wrong, but I'm trying to make it right. But when you're a person who's not trying to make it right and you just still pushing it and pushing it and pushing it and pushing it, that's when I gotta look at the human nature. Like, all right, I know we're human. I know we make mistakes, but no, you're hurting. What you're doing is intentionally putting people in harm's way. So,
and that's true.
Yeah. So, no, go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I was definitely gonna bring up the Hogan thing with you. But I mean, like D1 said, if they do that, because obviously there's a lot of Trump supporters who obviously, watch wrestling as well. So then, if you do that, then they're gonna be like, oh, so how come you didn't do that for this person? Or this person did that, you didn't do that, So I do believe it's a domino effect. But I do feel that your actions should, you should have consequences for your actions. Because, as soon as, Hogan, they quick to remove him from any kind of Hall of Fame thing, anything that he had associated with WWE, they removed themselves from it because of the fact of, they wanted to distance themselves. So now with Donald Trump, like but see, I guess the difference with Hogan is a wrestler, you know what I'm saying? So anything that he does, he's gonna refer back to wrestling. So Donald Trump is in the celebrity wing. So even if Donald Trump does something, he's more so known as a reality star / president. So he's not really affiliated, or they don't really tie his ties back to WWE. So I think that's why they don't really make too much of it. But at the time, like it's but as those wrestling fans who know that he's in the Hall of Fame and he's doing crazy petty stuff, it's like, yo, like this guy, he should have some kind of discipline, because you hold your Hall of Famers to a high expectation. So why should he be?
Yeah, that is very true. No, it's very true. It's very true. It's very true. Very true.
Even in baseball, Pete Rose, he bet on baseball, so he's banned from even being in the Hall of Fame. He's apologized, he's done everything he could to try to fix it, but they're like, nope, still not gonna be in the Hall of Fame. He's one of the great. Well, I didn't see him, but from what everybody say, he was a great player, and he should be in the Hall of Fame from their opinion. But they're like, nah, you violated. So it's no matter what you do at this point, you're never, we're never gonna let you do it. And Sammy Sosa, another one.
Oh, Sammy's banned from the Hall of Fame too?
I mean, he's not banned, but every time every time a ballot comes out where they can vote for him to be in the Hall of Fame, they're not voting for him. Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire, and Barry Bonds.
Oh wow! Oh, because of the whole juicing.
Right. And even though they history, most home runs in the season, they made it interesting. Baseball was great to watch around that time, but they're like, nah, you use PhDs, so I mean PEDs. Nah, we good.
Yeah. Wow. Damn. Yeah, I know. I get it. No, but you're right though. It's just that it's almost a it's definitely a snowball effect. Dewan Davis. Dewan Davis says, and he's still alive too. He said he's still alive, but but yeah, it's a snowball effect. It will cause snowball effect because we look at Superfly Snicker. The guy killed his wife apparently. Yeah, it was years ago, but he covered up a murder and he lived with that in secret. It's like this guy's murdered his wife brutally. Like, it wasn't a regular murder. It was a brutal murder. And then, you have Ric Flair, who was known for being racist. You know what I'm saying? Teddy Long has stories about that. And you have the Four Horsemen who were inducted into the Hall of Fame when Ole Anderson was well-known racist. So it's very interesting. It does create a snowball effect. You have different issues in the past of certain people who've done these things, and what Trump did, what Trump has done has been done after he was already entered into the Hall of Fame. You know what I'm saying? So I can understand why they would keep him, because it wasn't done before. It wasn't done, while he was being considered. But he's already there. He's the president, and where he was at that time in history, he was in a better place. Where he's at now in history is not in a great place. So if they decide to keep him or remove him, I don't care. I mean, his contribution to WWE will never surpass those of other people. You know what I'm saying? It was just a moment in history, So, whatever. But yeah, we got to wrap this up, man. But again, we thank you guys for joining us for another edition of Wrestling Talks and Thoughts. You guys can join us every time we go live on Sunday and Tuesday. If we do Monday broadcastings, lives, we will let you guys know that we're going live Monday. But we will definitely post up in the groups so you guys can hit us. Please join our group page, join our fan page, and you will always get a notification that we are going live. Or you can hit on the notification on your live if you're on Facebook to know when we're going live. Also on YouTube, go on YouTube, check us out on YouTube. Same thing. We have the same lives. Check us out. We have previous videos, old videos you guys can check out where we talk about other topics. We talk about other things concerning that particular month or different things, whatever. Anyway, guys, hit us in the comment section. Drop your comments in the comment section below. We want to know your thoughts so we can talk wrestling. Please join us again. We thank everybody for J Mac Main.
Oh, yeah, you froze. My fault. J Mac Main.
Sorry for the technical difficulties. All right, and we will see you guys later. Peace.